got Defunct. Give us Defunct stuff. I'm one of your hosts. I sang a song and got it. I sang a song and got it in the wrong order. Welcome to How Do We Human? It's the podcast where we overanalyze all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
And hey, today we're talking defunct things. But you know what's not defunct?
Tell me.
One of our audience favorites, a favorite guest of ours, old friend, Mary Nguyen is here to join us.
Hello, hi.
Woo!
I'm here to
Hi.
bring Defunct to tie it back to
Perfect.
Evan singing.
It was very smooth. It all went well. If I occasionally come off as distracted, I was trying. Long story. I don't have time to get into it. I was going to sell one of my bass guitars, and now I'm refurbishing it, and a screw broke, and I was trying to get the screw out, and some like metal filaments started coming up, and a bit of it shot up into my eye.
Oh my god!
And I can't get it out, and it doesn't feel great. So that it happens to the best of us.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't happen at all.
You're both wearing eye protection right now, so you're good.
Safety first.
Safety first. Metal filaments second. I don't know where to start. I mean, I guess this is all kind of we're poking around the fact that Mary, you've been working on a special little project.
Yes.
That led us to this topic.
Yes. So I today actually on the recording, I don't know when this episode's coming out, but it will be out by the time this episode comes out. But the show that I worked on called Blockbuster is out on Netflix.
Yay. It looks great. By now I will have watched it.
Yeah.
So I'll just say
I'll
it
have
is
finished
great.
it.
Yeah.
That's true.
4 episodes in so far.
Oh, how fun. Yeah, it's a really fun show. I think I'm hoping that people like take it as it is, because it's meant to be fun. It's not to like change the world. Yeah. It's silly and like we have fun. We had so much fun writing it, and so like I think it translated into the screen. Hopefully,
that's exciting. I love fun. People sometimes think I don't. But a little secret about me, I love the stuff. Can't get enough. So
Can't get enough fun.
No, fun me up.
Fun you up. I have a question, actually, for Mary.
Yes.
This is about Blockbuster, the store, a comedy about a place full of physical media. How am I not in this show, Mary? Where's my part?
The Wizard of Defunct.
I mean, unfortunately, the first season was filmed in Vancouver, so you were strike one against you is that you weren't Canadian.
Ouch.
Oh man, if I had a nickel for every time I've been told that.
You should just go outside of Netflix, protest, demand that season 2 happens, first of all, and then make it so that they film in LA.
I like the idea of a preemptive protest. Like, let there be a season 2. We're still... It just came out. We're still talking about it.
It's just Chris because he wants to be in it. That's the reason why.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not against a little vacation to Vancouver, but let's get into this actual episode. Defunct stores, defunct stuff. Blockbuster really is just one left in the world. Yeah. But they used to be everywhere. They used to walk among us. And,
did they?
They did. They're kicking down the doors of all the other video rental stores and saying, "This is
Yeah.
ours now."
God, that is actually so true, and that's so weird to think that it did go like that, like all the little video stores, and then Blockbuster's like, we took everyone over, and then it's all gone. Just,
They
what a weird.
were. I think the peak of it was like 2004. I think around that
That
time.
sounds about right. Yeah.
And it's weird because I grew up. I went to Hollywood Video because it was like probably a couple bucks
Yeah.
cheaper. And my parents were so anti Blockbuster. Like they were so like this place is so expensive. Let's go to Hollywood Video instead. And I was like, I wanted to go to Blockbuster because that's where all the cool kids were, you know? Like that was where the kids like went to go hang out. That was their plan. I was like so mortified being caught at a Hollywood Video.
That's interesting. I didn't like growing up in that area. There was never any Hollywood Videos until I moved to Seattle. And by then it didn't feel that was a little later. That would have been like 2008 or so. So they were about on a level playing field. So I was like, ooh, this place is new to me. So I enjoyed Hollywood Video quite a bit. But oh man, I love Blockbuster. I miss it. There is something about what Chris is doing right now, just surrounding yourself with physical media. It just kind of feels nice.
And if you really think about it, I think we're cycling back to those times because now people are realizing that they're deleting digital media because there's no space in the cloud. Like the whole thing with HBO Max deleting a lot of their library and there's no physical media version of it.
Yeah. A lot of these collections online are starting to look less and less impressive when you're not paying attention to it. And it's happened with music to a decent degree. Like vinyl's bigger than ever somehow. So I don't know. Why couldn't there be just a new exciting physical media? I know that breaks Chris's heart. all the DVDs.
Well, I mean, I do think it's interesting that I don't know if it was the last time Mary was on or the time before that, but I brought up my collection, and you both were like, "Oh, why do you have that? You can get it all
doesn't sound like me at all."
And then here we are in 2022. Oh, there's something nice about surrounding yourself with physical media.
There's always something nice about surrounding yourself with it. I still have mine. I just don't. That's actually something I was thinking about. So I mentioned in a previous episode that my ex-girlfriend, when we were living together, didn't want to have all my DVDs out. Just we kind of, once moving both our stuff into place, it was like that was one of the things that kind of had to go. I didn't get rid of them, but I stored them in the closet. And so they're still in my closet. And I'm like, it'd be nice to have them out again, but it's also like, it's been so long now, and I feel like I've changed. I've become a better, more empathetic person, and now as a old film buff, I look at my collection and I see a lot of Woody Allen. I see a lot of Roman Polanski. I'm like, okay, do I just leave some of these in the closet? I have R. Kelly's trapped in the closet. It is in my closet. And it should probably stay trapped in there.
I think the solution is to do what Blockbuster would do and have it categorized, and you can just have your own like sex offenders section, and then your other categories as well.
Would it be in poor taste if I did, like when you'd go to an old video store, but then they'd have the adult videos behind like a curtain?
Oh,
I
there
could
you
just
go,
hide all
yeah.
the stuff I don't want people to see behind the curtain.
The title of the section is "Separate the Artist from the Art" kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what the curtain is called. The art from artists curtain.
I thought you would have had like way more Mel Gibson in there, just like just like the whole backlog of his movies.
I think that goes right along the top. I do have Signs, but otherwise, I have a lot of Mel Gibson on VHS. And that I also still have a little bag of VHS up there. Why? I don't fucking know. What am I gonna do with it? It's not worth anything. It's never gonna be worth anything.
Just
It's
like Beanie
just there.
Babies. Talk about
I
defunct.
know. Oh my god. It's
I had so many of those as a kid.
I never did. My sister was huge into them, so we had a bunch around. But
I collected them as well, and then I think I remember seeing a documentary about them where like the owner of TY, like he was the one that was like, oh, each one should be different. They each should have like kind of that specialness, and that's the reason why they became super popular.
Hey, give me. I don't know why you have to give me something. Give me your attention. I've got a prediction. I think Beanie Babies do come back. They've got it. That's too cool. As silly as they are, that's a cool idea. And of all the things from around then that did come back in a massive way, Pokemon cards showed that it might happen. Invest. Stocks are up for Beanie Babies. I don't have any. I'm just spending other people's money.
What else? Like Radio Shack is gone now.
Oh yeah,
Radio Shack. Yeah.
I don't even know what were they selling there.
Radios.
I want to guess radios.
I used to go there a lot, but similar to Radio Shack, but on a bigger level, which I was so delighted to see featured in Jordan Peele's latest movie, Fries.
Yeah.
I loved Fries, and it's stupid now that Fries and Radio Shack are both gone. It's like there's nowhere I can just go to get like I can't just go to a store and get a weird little cable connector or something or a part for my computer. It's all I just got to sit here online.
In that same category, Circuit City also
yeah,
be in that group.
It was so weird because I think Circuit City went first before Fries, which is like you'd think that Fries would go well after or like before because it's like so specialized too
and huge. Like every store was massive and had like an individual like theme to it with the UFO or dinosaurs or stuff. It's like this is expensive for a wild niche genre of people doing shopping, like pretty strictly people building computers.
I remember when they finally started closing like the last few Fries, there was like an investigation video of like somebody asking what was going on because there was like literally nothing on their shelves. Like there was like very few things there, and then someone kept on asking, like calling around, why hasn't there been any like restocks or anything, and nobody knew what was going on until it was like the end.
Creepy.
My Radio Shack memory is essentially that they just like started doing commercials with Shaquille O'Neal. Uniting the two greatest Shacks of our time.
Yes.
Get out of here, Shake Shack.
Should we? Oh, Evan, do we need to do a greatest Shacks of all time bracket? A Shack?
A Shack brack?
A Shack brack.
How many Shacks are? If we could come up with 32 Shacks, I'm down.
Shaquille O'Neal, Radio Shack, Shake Shack, Love Shack.
The Love Shack, absolutely. That's about it.
That's it. That's four.
There's some other Shack. There's some Shackleets, some other athletes named Shaq. Shaquille Leonard. That might be him.
So 5. You got 5. Right there.
All right, that's quite a bracket.
We've got a bunch of stores that have essentially all gone out of business. Do you either of you have any fond memories of these stores? Any stories from being in them?
Let me think. There are so many that have come and gone. I know, like, do you guys remember the store Mervin's?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's such a weird, like, thought that there was just a clothing store that came and gone. Why didn't they...
Right.
Wasn't Ross taken as well? Dress for less. Ross Dress for less.
Take Ross instead.
Yeah. And then you got your Kmart, which was replaced with
Yeah.
Kohl's, basically. And
Oh,
then
I didn't realize that.
I'm not sure if the Kohl's replaced it, but it's like basically the same genre of store.
Okay. No,
There
I
was-
used to love
Sears
Kmart.
also. Toast.
Sears.
Is
Toys
Sears,
R Us.
is Sears
Sears
really
isn't
gone?
completely gone. They're not completely gone, but they have closed most of their locations. The one that you might be most familiar with, Mary, in the Burbank Mall, it might be out of business now. 2 weekends ago, they were having an Everything Must Go
Oh.
sale, and also the Bed Bath and Beyond in that mall.
It's
So,
gone?
I guess it was also having a Everything Must Go, we're closing sale at the same time as Sears.
I think we're watching malls go out of business in general. Like
Yeah.
I think it's also because of like the pandemic, which is still going on. I
Mhm.
think that
Not according to what I've seen.
Says Chris from his DVD bunker.
That's right, baby.
6 floors underground.
which has
No,
killed
I was
so
gonna
many
when,
things.
no, for sure. When you were talking about Mervin's, I feel like as a kid, I just kind of had the thought like the mall owns all these places and it'll keep them all afloat, right? It's like, no, these are individual businesses. I'm like, yeah, Mervin's just seemed like exactly the same as a JCPenney or any of those that do still exist. Also, hey, let's throw in the Bon Marché. But the list of stores that I loved growing up, because I'm annoyed, FYE, Suncoast, and Borders. Those were my probably 3 biggest ones I spent way too much money in because they were all very expensive.
Yeah.
But they had the things I wanted to buy. Suncoast, the worst offender, selling DVDs for like $40. But man, they had a good collection.
You know what's funny? I think one of the comments on Reddit. Well, I shouldn't be even on Reddit looking at like anything
How
about our
dare
show.
you?
Or like,
Oh no, Mary, what are you doing?
I tried not to, but then I saw this one comment that like killed me. I thought it was so funny. It was when is Amazon gonna do a Borders a show?
Oh, yeah.
Because like Amazon is killing a bunch of stores, but I honestly think physical stores is gonna make a comeback because there's no
gotta.
way people are wanting to stay at home all the time. Like especially the past 2 years, no way, nobody wants to stay at home.
No. I mean, it's obviously such an individual thing because I've felt that way forever. That I'm like, I love going to a physical store. There's a big old handful of things that I want, such as something I would buy from Fry's. That now is like, yeah, I'll use Amazon. I use Amazon for way too much shit. I try not to, but I can buy it and it'll be here tomorrow, and that's very handy. But anything like, yeah, if I'm buying clothes or shoes or anything like that, hell no. I want to go try it on or see what it looks like in person. I just, I don't know. For an introverted person that doesn't like going out very much, I like to go out by myself and go to a store and buy something and
Yeah,
come right back and use it.
there is something to like actually trying something on. I like had to go and buy a suit because I wanted to, and I was like, oh, I could just order it online or whatever. But I was like, no, let's just go to the store. So I drove to the mall, went into the store. Thankfully, I went there because if I had ordered it, it would have been like a size too small for me, the size that I was going to order. And like there's nothing like going and talking to someone because they are just there paid to service give you like this like nice service, so it's like nice to be outside.
Totally. And it's funny how like we've all known forever, especially like with women's clothes, that all the different stores, like the sizing is different everywhere you go. And so it's wild that as many of us have, just like, yeah, I just buy all my clothes online. There's entire, like you mentioned Reddit, like there's entire subreddits devoted to like what I thought I was buying, what I got. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fucking hard. It's a crapshoot. I don't care for shooting that crap.
So I have a question for you guys.
Awesome.
Not just like a store or anything, but like in general, what do you guys think are could predict would go out of fashion soon? Like go defunct.
Ooh, like what's on its way out?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
That's
I'll
a
go
good
first.
question. Please.
I have one idea. I think Twitter is actually gonna go out for,
I mean,
for
yeah.
soon.
Oof.
I have been
Seems
watching
possible.
it's just like so funny to watch like somebody who's having a midlife crisis but also be a billionaire owning a terribly ran like company. And not only that, but like the owner of Twitter like walked away with billions of dollars and was just like,
Yeah.
good luck with that.
It's impossible to save face after like actively trying to like, like, nope, I'm getting out of this sale. I don't want anything to do with it. Then like,
Yeah.
here I am.
Walking in
Okay,
with
man.
a sink, a physical
Yes.
sink to be funny.
Like a normal person, something I do every time I start a new job. I bring a sink.
Like it is so funny, and I honestly think there's a lot more because it used to be like all those Elon Musk fans, you know, like those guys
Mhm.
that are like constantly like defending him, but it's getting really hard for those people to defend
Yeah.
this man.
That's the other prediction. Musk defunct. I was
Are we
gonna
gonna
say
stamp it?
defusk. Stamp
we
it.
gonna
Notified. Or notarized. Not notified.
Yeah, notified.
Both. They'll be notarized and then he'll be notified. Here's a wild prediction. Because, hey, I don't want to just give a boring prediction. I'm going to give a wild prediction. But it's
Yeah.
something that
That
could
is
happen.
that's very on brand for you, Evan. I don't know if you remember this, but
Ooh.
it was like the first episode we
Great.
did during COVID, and you and I made predictions
That's
as to
right.
like what was gonna happen. And I believe you said that there something to the effect of like there would be a nationwide grape juice shortage. Um,
Wait, do you think that people are just gonna drink grapefruit for the whole time?
I have no idea.
it was something I don't know if it was because of that or like there was going to be a big like grape juice truck crash or something like that. It was a bonkers prediction
It
that
was.
Evan admittedly was like, "Hey, this is probably not going to come true, but if it does,
I was right.
then like that's where the money is."
And there were a lot of grocery shortages. I wasn't fully wrong. I was just getting at the supply chain. You know, it's like when you talk to those times when you talk to a mentalist and they're like, there's a name that starts with an F. It's like, I got in the ballpark.
But you
So I was
were
right.
trying to swing at like a ping pong ball, basically, coming at you at 100 miles per hour. You went with a grape juice shortage.
Yeah. I have my little pencil I was swinging at it with. Yeah! And I knocked it out of the park. No, this wild prediction, something that could become defunct. I'm going to say, do I want to get fully specific? Okay, I'm going to throw two things in here, but by being general, if that makes sense. Big public holiday group gatherings such as Christmas tree lightings, New Year's Eve ball drop, stuff like that. I'm looking at reverse from everything we've known, Where it's like, oh, okay, the COVID thing happened. Now we're all trying to be back together again. Hey, guess what? COVID's still fucking here. And I think my prediction, at a certain point, we collectively as a society realize this doesn't need to happen. We'll do it from our TV separately or at a distance. I don't think that many people need to get together ever.
So you're predicting that collectively people are becoming more and more nihilistic and just be like, we don't need this anymore. We're just gonna be at home.
That's not what I was saying, but I agree. So yeah, now that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think people are getting more nihilistic, and that's fine. Nothing matters.
I mean, your pick of Twitter is pretty good. Like, social media in general, I think, could be
I've had that
on its
too.
way out.
Like,
but that feels like I'm just piggybacking on yours. So I'll also say I think movie theaters are on their way out.
Which I don't want.
I mean, I don't like that. I can kind of see it, but there is nothing to like going out, sitting on a cushy chair. It kind of makes me sad.
We come here to laugh, to cry, to go to places we've never been. That's my flawless Nicole Kidman impression.
Hello, it's
I
me.
love, by the way, in that commercial or whatever it's considered to be, that she says to go places we've never been before, and then show like the thing that she's watching is the 4th Jurassic Park movie. You've been there 3 times, Nicole. We've all been there.
Maybe that was our first.
I guess. I don't know. Pick any other movie.
Valid point. I want to talk a little bit about samples.
Samples?
So we've talked
like
a lot.
Costco?
Sure, that too. No, those are still there. That's my new prediction. No more samples at Costco, and everyone riots. I'm talking when you used to go, bringing back my stores I love, mainly FYE I'm thinking of, but any store that sold CDs. You'd go in there, they got a little setup, and you could listen to little samples of music. And I think some places you could do it with a movie too. I don't know, like, here's our little select scene from it. I loved doing that, and it kept me in the store, and it kept me looking at more things, and I would always walk away buying something. And now I just kind of, pay a subscription, and that's it. I have stuff, and I don't sample any of it. Does this make sense?
Yeah, like
I may have been too I might be too young and beautiful to remember experiencing that, because I never had anything like that
Fortunate
I remember.
for you.
Well, I mean, like, I remember that at what was it, Empire Records?
Yeah.
That's the store, right? Not the
Tower.
movie. Yeah. Yes. Empire Tower. I remember going to the Tower. That was where I bought my Britney Spears CD. I remember trying to listen to music in there, but my parents were very conservative, so I wasn't allowed to listen to a lot of music, especially the ones with the parental advisory, which is another defunct thing that they don't have anymore. Is that
true?
No, I mean just the general parental advisory stuff, that. I feel like parents are just allowing their kids to do listen, watch, whatever.
I mean, it does we're just a more informed society, so parents know what stuff is. Not all parents, but it does feel more like thinking about my sisters and stuff. They're just aware of shows and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna watch. My kid's not gonna watch that show or listen to that music.
Yeah,
or they are.
So it doesn't feel like there's like a whole thing where like a group of people telling parents that you don't have to watch this. Like we'll tell
Right.
you that if it's good for your kid or not. But now it's like more parents are aware of what you were saying, like aware of what they're getting into.
Yeah. I was where was I? I was at my sister's house, and her kid was, not to throw her under the bus, because this is not a throwing her under the bus. He loves this movie. My nephew is, at this point, going on 3. So it would have been 2 at the time. And the movie, I believe it's called Monster House, animated movie.
Mm.
Chris reaches behind him for
It's
it.
right back here.
Oh.
It is back here.
Chris turned around, showed it to us.
There it is.
There it is.
I have never seen that. I remember it coming out. I remember seeing reviews, but I was watching my nephew watch this movie, and I'm thinking, like, this looks terrifying.
Yeah.
If I'd seen this, I would not like let a 2-year-old watch it, but he loves it. And I'm like, well, I love that. So,
I love kids who
else.
love creepy stuff like that.
100%.
I saw a video of a girl who wanted a creepy doll for her birthday, and I was like, this. I talk about Defunct that I'm excited about is seeing more, like, especially in Halloween, seeing more young girls and women dressing as like silly. Like, I saw this girl who was dressed as Steve Harvey, and I was like, this is incredible. Like, the debunking of like young women needing to be sexy during Halloween. I love it. I love it.
Led from the beginning by Heidi Klum herself, who dressed up like a worm this year. Which I loved.
Love, and not only that, but her interviews of her talking as herself, as a worm, is very... It's like the peak of comedy.
It's pretty funny.
It's so good. She is incredible, and like again, she's just like all in on like what Halloween's supposed to be, and it's supposed to be weird and like creative at the same time. And I feel like we're coming back to that time now.
Yeah, till we all get sick and can't go out anymore.
I mean, it's been a big year for I guess lookalikes for you, Mary. You recently dressed the same as Randall Park, and at the beginning of the year, you looked like the girl from Turning Red. So this has been a big year of Mary Nguyen doppelgangers.
Well, first off, me and Randall. It was good. It was funny because, like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear the suit. I've always wanted to wear a suit to an event.
Yeah.
And then he showed up with his wife, beautiful wife, Jay. She, like, came up to me and was like, it looks like you and Randall are wearing the same thing. And I was like, oh my God. And then I was like trying to figure out when I can do that Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, at the after party, I'm going to corner him and then like basically demand it. Again, I didn't have to demand anything because Randall is an incredibly nice person.
He seems like a very sweet man.
He is truly the nicest person in the world. He like treats everybody, because I was an assistant when I first met him, and he treated me like a human being. Like, a lot of people don't treat assistants very well, and
absolutely.
Like so that's my litmus of like how I know a celebrity is really nice is when they treat assistants well. Yeah. Again,
who hasn't treated you very well? Let's run down the list.
Luckily, I haven't had too many like run-ins with like bad
Ellen DeGeneres. Luckily, I haven't had too many run-ins with Ellen, so it's fine.
So you're safe. Or James Corden. That whole news
Yeah.
article. Jeez
Is there a
Louise.
new one?
I
I
forgot
know
what
all
they're.
It's
about.
just so hard to believe that like somebody who routinely does sketches on his show about how he has an anger problem when he's not the center of attention would have an anger problem when he's not the center of attention. That's so
Yeah,
weird.
you're saying it over and over and over again with comedians, where it's like, oh, that's why you joke about that all the fucking time. I guess that makes sense.
When the news broke out about him getting banned from Balthasar, someone I was talking to about it like could not get over the fact that his wife wanted an egg yolk only omelet, which is nearly impossible, and he claimed it was
Yeah.
because she was allergic to egg whites, which is again nearly impossible if you can only eat yolk.
Right.
The calorie
That
count
makes sense.
alone is
No.
insane.
That is backwards.
Do we think comedians are going to be defunct soon, given all their
God,
problems?
there are so many comedians that turned out to be bad. Like
Yeah.
I know that Dane Cook recently released a special, and I know somebody who watched it, and they said that it was a rough time. Like they went into it knowing that it would be bad,
Yeah.
but it was just so bad that it never became good again. And there was one time where he joked about how he doesn't he said in a joking quote unquote manner, he said to his now fiance, "Where have you been all my life?" And then he realizes she hadn't been born for the first 25 years, right?
Yes,
It-
that's correct.
Okay.
He was literally just pointing out a fact.
Oh boy.
But
Oh,
yeah,
well.
I honestly think that comedians are probably on the way out.
Just all of them.
Yeah,
Look out,
we don't
Dimitri
know.
Martin.
Yeah, it'll be only Dimitri Martin, and he will soon be canceled for not running out of observations to make.
Oh, I didn't mean to flip to that page. This is a silly nothing nowhere thought, but where else would it go except this podcast? Talking about defunct things. Obviously, we're talking about a lot about a lot about DVDs, Babadook DVDs, and that's just gonna happen when Chris has a bunch of DVDs in his background. That's all I can think
I
of.
don't have the Babadook. I'm sorry. Otherwise, I would have turned and grabbed it.
Yeah, this is a test. I'm
It
just
would
gonna.
have been. I don't know if I could have reached it from from where I'm sitting. The shelves go up a little higher.
I'm just gonna keep slipping in movie titles and test you, see how much you've got. And hey, maybe this is even a test right here. Chris and I, we did an episode recently. We love talking SNL, right? We haven't talked about this week's episode. I have a lot of thoughts, but
I know me too.
oh boy! A big thing in my growing up years, my teen years, those SNL best of DVDs. They were everywhere, and they were a great way to get to know various performers that were a little bit before your time. Obviously, those aren't really a thing anymore. I was surprised because I had to double check to look around. Like, they don't even have playlists. They just make playlists of that on their YouTube. They don't. Why not? Best of Tina Fey. Done. There's 8 million views. Best of it later.
I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably that they are more interested in pushing their new stuff and like uplifting the like who the current cast is instead of all of these other people we think of when we think of the show.
But they've got to be aware that all videos get them ad revenue. So.
Well, yeah, but I think that they want to stay more like current with like what is getting seen. But I think the other part is like when do you draw the line at like who gets a playlist? Because you could make a decent argument like, okay, well, only the people we know are the biggest draws are going to get a DVD because that costs money to uh, publish and produce.
Right.
But to like put a playlist together, like,
Easy
hey, we
peasy.
just need to get some unpaid intern to do some work.
Here's what I'm thinking. You know, someone runs that YouTube account for the company I work for. That's me. There's a me over there just running that YouTube account.
Are
How
you
often
talking
did-
like leveling in the like kind of
Yeah.
leveling with them? Are you
I'm on your
talking
level.
directly to
I'm
them?
talking directly to you.
You and I, we're not so different.
We're not so different, you and I. You know, how often do you have to upload stuff? You got one show a week. What are you doing the rest of the week? Uploading the one, like, oh, here's the teaser. You got time. You got time throughout the week, and you fucking know it. You aren't up until 5 a.m. with the writers. You're doing nothing. Just put some playlists together. You go put a playlist together, I'll do it. Let me in. I'll make a playlist for every fucking cast member that's ever been on the show that you have the videos available for. I think people would love to watch it, and it'll make you probably $1 billion.
I wonder if it's like kind of a ego thing, possibly, because there might
Indeed.
be like certain cast members who get upset that other cast members are getting more views than them, possibly.
Could be.
Yeah, that's true. It'd be a lot easier for them to track each other's numbers, which would probably cause a lot of ego problems.
Yeah.
But
I'm here
you know,
for the drama.
Yeah.
But I feel like Warren loves that, to pit people against each other. Like that seems
Totally.
like his. So never mind. Take it back.
Yeah.
I feel like he would like love that.
Yeah. Give me the best of Luke Knoll.
Yeah. Brooks Wheelan playlist, here I come. So I want to just go on another random tangent because I've, pitched a job that I want in terms of guest starring on Blockbuster season 2. Evan has now pitched that he wants the job of running the SNL YouTube channel.
Apparently.
Mary, what kind of job you want in the next year or so?
Yes. Whose career do you want to become defunct so that you can take care of it?
I guess maybe. I mean, I'm gonna just throw it out there. Possibly I've always, in the back of my mind, I've always loved this idea of just being a UFO hunter.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know why. I know my career path, I'm set on like being TV writing and like TV comedy and stuff, but like there's like a wild side in me where I'm like, let's go hunt for the truth out there.
The truth.
What is the government hiding?
Yeah. It's fun. It feels like a full-on diversion I could talk about forever, but it is funny how it's like when things really start like working out, you're like, yeah, I'm kind of doing like a career that I would like be stoked about, and it's like, I'm also kind of bored. I could also do other stuff. What about this? Maybe I'll sink all of my money into something.
I think the reason, biggest reason, other than my parents' constant disappointment, it would for me to actually go into that sort of career is that is my fear of actually finding the truth and like. Meeting like extraterrestrials would freak me out.
Yeah, be spooky.
Yeah, I don't think I like on the surface level. I feel like I would be ready to see a UFO land on in New York or something, but if I saw a fucking alien walking around, I think I'd lose my mind.
Yeah. I think we all would. That wouldn't be normal.
But also,
If your UFO hunting did lead you to find an alien, what would you say to them?
I think one time I was thinking about it where I was like, what if, like, I had this like really like deep fear, like where it was like, okay, like if I ever ran into one, like I think I would freak out and stuff. And then I thought about it. I was like, what if I did run into one and then it would, I like, for some reason I felt like very calm in knowing that they are in the same, kind of in the same boat as us, like that
Yeah.
the earth is, they're coming to earth, which is kind of a, let's say, a shit show. Talk about defunct.
Yeah, Earth is out, baby.
And like, and I'm pretty sure they're probably going through the same thing. There is no way that they have gotten to like singularity in that like everything is
Yeah.
at peace. There has to be some sort of race war going on with like aliens out there.
Yeah.
I've never thought about socially awkward aliens. We gotta get them on the podcast,
Next Halloween, I think we might.
I'm pretty sure like they probably have the same thoughts, and like there is no, they're probably sending out these false flags that they've got it all together, and they design
Yeah.
like
Ooh.
spaceships that can travel through dimensions and stuff. Like, but I'm pretty sure when they go home at night to their families, to Gliblob and the little ones,
Glib
they're
Glob and the little
probably
ones.
The little ones.
they're
Let's
probably-
start a band right now. That's our name.
They're probably gonna go home and be like, "Oh, honey, how's your day? It was shit. Ding dong over there at the office is probably making their lives miserable. They're probably going through the same thing."
Sucking up to the boss. And,
Yes.
yeah, getting passed up for a promotion.
Yes.
Damn. It is funny that we always like assume aliens would be smart. They might not be. This is a hot take, and I'm here for it.
I mean, they could be smart, but then also they could be like having a hard time with the opposite sex, you know, or someone they're attracted to. They're having a
Yeah.
hard time getting to that that spot. I don't know, like
That
with mating or something.
space.
But yes, so that is my hot take about aliens.
Great. Humans defunct. Aliens awkward.
Not to get us back on topic, and I mean, on topic has not been somewhere that we've been most of this episode. But do you remember, like, you know, of course, there's the Disney store. Do you remember the Warner Brothers like studio store when they had their own retail location throughout the
Oh.
country?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Like, I know they had one in Vegas, but I don't think it was open. I think it was closed for sure.
Interesting.
Oh, there was one in the mall in Phoenix when I was a kid, and I went there a couple times. And like, I mean, it is like truly just like the Disney store, but like with the Warner Brothers merchandise. But I loved it. But I think they did all go out of business in like 2005 or something like that.
Just all those Tweety and Taz sweaters we talk about.
Yeah. Mary, why is it that the only Looney Tunes clothing merchandise only has Taz or a Tweety Bird? And usually they're in like 90s hip hop outfits.
Because they are the hardest characters of the Warner Brothers pantheon. Let's get into it. They are like, when you're talking about like Taz, he is literally called Tasmanian Devil for a reason, of course.
He's a bad boy.
And then we got Tweety, who survives Sylvester all the time.
That's true. Is this our next bracket? Hardest Looney Tunes characters?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm on board. Well, we done?
Well, let's. Now, I was looking up. This kind of blew my mind, and I don't know, Chris, if this was already defunct by the time you were going through school, but it kind of blew my mind. Like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I was looking up, like, what in case forgetting something big. Like, what are some other defunct things right now? And a website I was looking up brought up computer labs in schools. And I'm like, oh yeah, because everyone just has their own computers. And people are like, oh yeah, it's weird that you would have to go to a room where there's all the computers. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. That's not real anymore.
I didn't think about that either.
So strange.
I remember when I was a kid where we had like probably 30 minutes allowance, like a day, I think a week, where we would go into the computer labs and play like Oregon Trail or something. Do you remember that?
I loved Oregon
Trail. I had a TA class, so for an hour, maybe a little less than an hour, I basically just went around cleaning all the computers and cleaning the mouse balls. So that I could go play Arkanoids on the computer at the back. And I always did a really half-assed job because I really wanted to go play Arkanoids.
This is also kind of school related, but our Borders, of course, has gone defunct. Barnes and Noble has a couple locations
they're still
around
somehow.
Are libraries defunct or on their way to being defunct?
I hope not.
I don't think so, because I feel like now you can use the library card for a lot of things too.
True.
So a lot of people like do sign up to get like audiobooks and stuff, and I think there's like an online, especially in the LA County area, that they have like a lot of stuff attached to it.
Yeah, shout it all out. I use it, Canopy, in the LA area. If you have a library card, you just download the Canopy app, Canopy with a K. They've got like more movies than any of the other current major apps that exist, and it's free. Get a library card. But there's also I can't think of what it's called. It's on my phone somewhere. There's an app that libraries like have given the thumbs up to, that you can use basically just as an app to listen to audiobooks, and you can rent them through the library just through this app. So it's just a nice little player. It's a nice clean thing. I've done it. It's great. Libraries rule.
Should we stamp it that it's not defunct?
Libby. That's the name of that. Libby. So
you heard it here first.
Check it out.
Libraries not defunct.
Libraries are the funk. No, I hadn't been to a library in a very long time, and then just got my card and started going to the Cahuenga branch. I love saying the word Cahuenga. It's my favorite word in Los Angeles. It's Cahuenga, the Cahuenga branch library, and there's barely even anything there. But I've already, again, it goes back to the Blockbuster thing of what I love about walking around a place and seeing stuff. Is I've become so like, I love reading, and I just get this mental list of like, oh, I want to read that next. I want to read that next. Oh, well, I'll download it onto my Kindle. Beep, bop, 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 boop. And then you just walk around the library. And I'm like, oh yeah, that book. Maybe I'll check that out. And I walked out with like 3 books. I read all 3 of them before my expiration time ran out. And there were 3 things I literally never would have read otherwise. And I was just like, yeah, it felt good. I was like, ooh, look at that. I'm back in time. I'm getting books at the library.
And then the librarian quickly kicked him out.
Look at me, I'm back in time. Like, okay, sir.
There are children in this library, and you need to leave.
Get time. I recommend it. Everyone go to your library. Give it some attention. They're lonely.
tying it back to Blockbuster, or Hollywood Video, or renting videos from the library or whatever, was there ever a time where you were renting a movie um, for like a date night, or for like you
No.
were trying to impress somebody with your movie selection?
No, because I was a huge loser growing up,
Sam.
so I didn't have anybody.
Well, I did.
How is it? Didn't we establish this last time where
Yeah.
Chris turned out to be like the cooler of the three of us?
Chris
Like
was
out
a-
of the three of us?
Yeah.
He's out there dating. He's a social goddamn butterfly.
And you better believe that I chose a super romantic movie. Any guesses?
Revolutionary Road.
Good guess. Evan?
My worst friend's funeral.
All right. Well, it's neither of those, but I'll
Made
give
one
it
up.
to Mary because road is in the title, and this was somewhat of a road trip movie.
Roadhouse.
I'm talking a goofy movie, everybody.
Hey,
Whoa!
Yay!
And then she
Classic.
like quickly kicked you out of the house because she wanted to just be with Powerline instead.
Yeah. He was the one that stood out. They saw eye to eye.
And was it
The two Powerline songs.
after the movie was done, you weren't in the room anymore. It's like, where'd he go? And you came like descending from the ceiling, swinging on a cable. Just
That's right, yeah. Yeah, I had a purple smoke machine came into her living room.
Pauly Shore was there.
Yeah. With his cheese whiz.
I think I only ever went to Blockbuster for a date video once, and I went with the lady, the lady of the story. And I still am bad at like asserting myself, not like we're watching this, but just like
I
asserting.
thought the title of the movie was the lady of the story.
The
I was
lady
like,
of the
what fuck
story.
are you talking about?
No, the lady of my
The
story.
lady in the water? Okay.
The lady in the water. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not good at just being like, yes, I'm in the mood to watch something like this. How about you? So I was just kind of walk around and let her pick something out. We ended up watching Cube 2 because we had watched Cube recently, and Cube 2 was there. So like, let's stay in the Cubiverse.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking Gooding Jr.
Oh God.
Woof.
Talk about Defunct.
Is this something? Defunct the Police.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that something? Okay.
All three of us finally agree on something.
I had one other thing I wanted to bring up. I just love. I mean, I genuinely think apart like we keep just kind of getting sidetracked because it is just kind of fun talking about Blockbuster and renting movies and stuff like that. I love it and I miss it. There is still, if you're Washington listeners, if you're not taking advantage of Scarecrow Video in Seattle, what are you doing with your life? It is the coolest video store on the planet, and it still exists. Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say. Maybe I do, just tying it back to the podcast itself. It's weird to feel this like passionate about like DVDs and all my CDs and all that stuff. Which, by the way, I got all sorts of stories on that sort of stuff, but I've told them in previous episodes. So we're at that point in the podcast. I think listeners know I had all my CDs stolen from my trunk. It was heartbreaking. But there is a level of like, I care so much about all these things because I cared so much when I was a teenager. And a lot of people just don't give a shit. And it kind of makes us nerds to care at all about any of this stuff.
Yeah, I do. I don't know where I put it when we moved to this place, but I still have my Blockbuster card
Oh,
somewhere.
I do too. I should have
Yeah.
dug it out. Actually, I think I've just recently moved it. I think it's right over there. You never
I'm pretty
know.
sure mine's in this corner over here, but I
We're
don't
both
know
pointing
for
in the
sure.
same direction.
That's our cards in the corner. No, not cards on the table. Cards in the corner. Mary, did you have your Hollywood video card?
I don't think I physically ever had one of my own. It was always my parents. And,
Yeah, I had to sign up for mine when I rented a Goofy movie. So.
Was that awkward?
It was, because I was like, when am I ever gonna come back here? But,
This
whatever,
place
I
is
needed
defunct.
the card, so yeah.
Important question. Had you seen a Goofy movie before? Or was that okay? So
it had been a long time.
You knew what you were cooking
in
up.
between. Yeah, I mean, I think that it was like, she was there when we picked the movie, and so she might have
the lady of the story
picked it also. Yeah, the lady of the story. So she might have picked it also. I remember another time we were at that same Blockbuster, and I didn't pay for it. That's why I didn't have to sign up for the card.
Nice.
But this other time we rented Piranha 3D or 3 Double D, and it sucked. But what I wish that I had been there for at that Blockbuster was when they were going out of business and had to offload all of those DVDs. There was a store near my college called Hastings that was like a similar, like, gigantic entertainment media store.
Yeah.
And that's where this collection started, because they had them for dirt cheap. It was like, get 5 movies for like $7.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I had that at a FYE in Seattle when that went out of business. The Westgate Mall, I think it's called. Yeah, they were. I think I've even mentioned that on the podcast before. But yeah, they were even getting rid of all the furniture and like all the cardboard cutouts and the standees and the actual what do you call them? The shelves that had the DVD cards still with them that you could buy. Like, I don't have that much space, but that'd be pretty cool.
When my dad was a grocery store manager, they would also have like the cardboard displays at the stores sometimes for certain movies.
Yeah.
And there was one for Toy Story, and he took it home after like they weren't going to use it anymore, and it sat in our garage for a couple weeks until my parents were like, we have no space for this gigantic Toy Story cardboard cutout, all the characters looking up at Buzz as he shoots off of Andy's bed. And I was devastated when they threw that collection of cardboard in the trash.
I'm so sorry.
So you would say that that was a defuncting moment for you? Instead of defining defuncting movement?
Yeah.
Tie it back to the theme?
Fantastic.
Defuncting with style.
Well, I think that's an episode. I just missed I did remember what I was going to say. I just don't want to talk too much about it because we're going over time. And someone's in Mary's upper left.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I saw you kind of looking up there. I thought someone walked in the room.
Oh, I have a screen. I have a external monitor. That's why.
Okay. That's where you're tracking our locations.
Yes.
Great.
Just want the answers, the truth.
I just wanted to say there's something about with physical media, with renting stuff, with buying stuff, that things could not be available. A new movie would come out, and you probably might not be able to see it for a few weeks. And that used to be okay. And when that was the case, I always would get around to watching stuff. And now I just never see anything.
But you're gonna watch Blockbuster.
I'm gonna watch it. Something happened to your audio. I think you're very distorted all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. It's very distorted. And it's very concerning that it started to get distorted when Evan mentioned you were tracking our locations, and you said, "Yeah, the truth is out there." And then suddenly your audio got all jacked up.
Don't worry, this is all going in the podcast.
Oh my god! For listeners, I'm okay. Hopefully.
We'll plug Blockbuster for you. So wait, as of recording, is that out already?
Yeah. It's
I didn't realize that. Oh, great. All right, I'll watch it later tonight. And for everyone listening, it's been out for a while. So if you haven't watched it yet, what the hell? Get on it. It's great. Who doesn't love Randall Park? He's the best. And Melissa Famero's in there. I forget.
JB
Smooth. Come on. That's a cast to die for. Check it out. Thank you so much for joining us. Congrats on that achievement. That's very exciting. I'm very happy for you. Yeah, thanks for being on our podcast.
Thanks. Hopefully this is.
Hey, you're back.
Your audio's back.
Yay! You just
watch Blockbuster. Yay!
I think it was Netflix was listening in, and they're like, "It's been a while since she's mentioned the show." It just took a plug to break the curse.
Yes.
Hey, not to plug something that's not Blockbuster, but this podcast you can find on all of the different audio hosting platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pocket Cast, HowDoWeHuman.com. Anywhere that you get your podcasts, you can find more episodes of How Do We Human. You can rate, review, subscribe, do anything that those sites prompt you to do. You can also check out our social media. We are on Instagram at How Do We Human.
We got that handle.
Twitter at How Do We Human Pod.
Retweet those tweets to Elon.
Facebook at How Do We Human.
I don't think you're ready for that handle.
Or you can send us an email to howdowehumanpod@gmail.com.
The best part of that handle is that it's an address. And throw this out. And this is exciting news for Chris. People of YouTube, you may have noticed, you got emails that YouTube's starting to use handles. And we got our official email where we got to secure our handle. Guess what? We got it. We're at How Do We Human on YouTube.
Woo!
There's gonna be another part to this.
We gotta come up with another
bullshit
catchphrase.
we do. Those won't be publicly rolled out for another few weeks, but soon at How Do We Human on YouTube. And some more stupid bullshit. I think that's it. Was there anything else we had to plug? Anything else you wanted to plug, Mary? I didn't mean to steal your plug from you.
No, that's it. Just watch Blockbuster, enjoy it, keep on playing it. We need those numbers.
Keep on busting
Keep
those blocks.
on playing it.
Yep, just turn it on and let it repeat.
Yeah.
As you're
After we've watched it, do we have to rewind it so that somebody else can watch it on Netflix?
That sounds like a joke, but that would be so fucking cool. I think that would be such a cool thing to do.
We'll add that to your Netflix protest. Just make sure that we rewind it.
Yeah, give them a season 2 and make sure they can rewind.
Just when you get to the end of, when you finished each episode. You don't have to, but if you wanted to rewatch it, hit rewind. Oh, that'd be so funny. That'd be so good. Come on. Give me that vague job, Netflix. Guy who comes up with things to do.
Yeah, we should have a job where we just sit in the corner at Netflix and just.
Can we be your Imagineers, Netflix?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Oh my god. He stalled out.
Defunct? I don't think so. Instead, bye.
Okay, bye.
I still have something in my eye.